Here we are. We want to take action. We want to make sure we reach all of our goals. We set a vision. We set a mission. We even set strategies and procedures on how we're going to act. We're going to have an action plan, and then we're going to take massive action. You've done that. You've been there, and yet it still doesn't work out. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the one thing that's going to make all of your dreams and desire come true. And I bet you're not doing it yet. So let's go. What is that one thing? What is that one thing that I wish I knew back in the day? It's pretty simple. And I got to elaborate. But it's acting as if everything is going to work out for you. Okay? Let's do a deep dive on that. Because if we don't believe it in our insides, right, we're not going to achieve it in the outside. Some of the stuff is going to sound like mythical to a lot of you business people out there. To all of you salespeople out there, you'll be like, yo, man, tell me how to prospect, Rick. Yo, tell me how to make some money, dude. No, I've been there and I've done that. And I'm telling you, if you don't act as if everything's going to work out for you, it's not going to work out for you. So let's go through the first principle on how to make this happen is to act with certainty. Certainty. Imagining that everything you desire is going to come true. You can't have that inner disbelief of, hey, this stuff is too good for me, or it's too good to be true, or it's for other people. You have to be certain that this thing is made for you. Success is tailored for you. This is a step a lot of us high achievers we overlook this step because we get so into the action. There's tons of books on how to create goals and business plans and then strategies to implement those plans and action steps. But if you're not certain that it's going to come true, it's not going to come true. Our outer world is a makeup of what we feel and what we desire inside. So you have to be certain that is built for you. You are born for this. You are put onto this planet to complete this because you have a soul contract before you got here. That's my belief. You have things in life that you wrote with Source that you want to come down and complete. You wrote with yourself because Source is within you. And now at the end of life, you're going to judge whether you completed those things or not. And some of those things are really, really big to make a huge impact in the world. That could be you. And maybe we don't hit that because in our small action steps, we don't have certainty that the big things are meant for us. Guys, I've been there. I know what you're feeling, and I feel it today. I have to catch it. Hey, that's not for me, or that's too good to be true. No, man, we got to live with certainty. There's a law, and it's called the law of creation. We are creators in this world. We can create anything that we desire. The perfect relationship, the perfect children, all the abundance and money, the perfect health. If you want that beautiful body, it starts with here. You got to make sure that you create it for yourself in your inner world and you are worthy. You have to be certain that you are worthy, okay? The second principle after certainty is the power of trusting the universe. Man, I struggled with this, but an easy hack to this is just to live in faith. Put your life to God. Put your life to Source. Put your life to universe. Man, I'm kind of quiet. I'm kind of like almost stumbling on my words right now, is because I wish I did this earlier. And while I'm talking, I'm like feeling sorry for myself, which I shouldn't, because that was my journey. But for you guys that are watching right now, live in faith. There is a bigger power. Trust it. Because see, if we only think that we have ourselves, then it's hard. We don't have the strength. We don't have a backup. I don't know if any of you guys have been in an after school fight. You know what I'm saying? I remember going into an after school fight and I was like, shit, man. I got in a fight one time at recess, right? And it was just me. I remember it was by the slides and we were going at it. Da, 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 da. And the guy got me down. All his friends were there and I was kind of scared, and he was watching around and he got me down, and then he was pinning me down, and then all of a sudden, boom, the bell rang. Recess was over, and boom, the fight automatically ended. We went back into class. Obviously, this was in grade school, but stay with me. So a couple of days later, I had told my older brother what happened. Okay. I told my older brother what happened. And he said, oh, man, my older brother was 3 years older than me. And he was in a higher grade. And now these guys wanted to meet me at lunch. So this time, my brother came with me. And man, did I ever fight a whole lot better knowing my older brother had my back. I won that fight. I destroyed that mofo. You know what I'm saying? I really did. It's because I had confidence. I walked into the fight with certainty. I didn't care if his little friends were there because my older brother had my back. Have faith that God has your back. Have faith that there's people beyond us that have your back. Surround yourself with people that do have your back. Because you're going to go into that more stronger. You're going to go into your goals stronger, knowing that this is already done. Act as if it's already done. The how is not important as long as you have faith. You just have to make sure that you have big dreams. Act as if it already happened. Okay, I don't know why I just keep fighting examples come to me, but I had my amateur boxing license and I had an amateur fight. Thousands of people were watching and it was streamed online. There's a lot of people watching me. But before the fight, I already won it because I was visualizing myself winning it, guys. That's your next principle, is visualization. I used to visualize myself winning that boxing match. Bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? And because I was visualizing it, I was practicing more because I'd already pictured it so many times in my head. There was no way I was going to lose. You know what I'm saying? And because my visualization was so powerful, I watched myself with my hand up. My training got more powerful. Not only was I training with my coaches, I hired other coaches on top of my fighting coaches. I hired Olympic boxers that were my friends. I'm like, yo, I'm going to train with you too, because my visualization of winning was so powerful. I knew it was going to happen. I'm telling you, I walked into the ring so prepared, living that moment so many times in my head that I was certain I was going to win. And what happened? I won. When I was in my first got in my sales career as a real estate agent, okay, literally, I used to shut my eyes and picture for sale signs all over with my for sale signs with my face on it. I used to picture it like this. And then I used to picture myself putting the sold sticker on all the for sale signs. And that visualization became a reality. I learned this principle way back, I want to say in 2002, through a guy named Brian Tracy. The book that I read was Maximum Achievement. And he talked about programming your subconscious mind through visualization. And, these weren't his principles, but that's just the first person I learned it from. When I went on this self-development journey, Napoleon Hill talks about it, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, they all talk about it. Guys, everybody talks about it. There's a book, The Secret, that talks about it that most of you have seen. Talking about it and knowing it is different than practicing it. Practice it every single day in your life. If you visualize properly, things in your life are going to become true. Let's go on to the next principle. Affirmations. Affirmations. Because affirmations are important, and you can do it in different ways. My ways of doing it is just inner talk in my head as I'm driving, when I'm working out, maybe while I'm meditating, I'll talk about it. Just you do it your way, right? A lot of people are screaming it to themselves in the mirror like, I am the best, I am the best, I am the best. I don't do it that way, but you do it what works for you. But affirmations at the end of the day are very important, because you're programming your mind, you're programming your subconscious mind, and you're giving yourself that belief. You're acting as everything is happening. Because look, let's go back to the first point, which was living in certainty. Guys, when you don't have mentorship growing up, when nobody told you you can, it's hard to develop that self-belief. So affirmations and visualization is an amazing way to build that belief. Affirmation, you're constantly telling yourself positive things. I am the best realtor. I am lean. I have a lean and muscular body. Whatever your affirmations are. I am. Because you're programming your subconscious mind to believe that. Remember, we cannot distinguish between fantasy and reality. Our outer world is a makeup of our inner world. So right now, today, if you do not like your outer world, that's because you had bad inner self-talk. Affirmations is going to help that. The next principle is highly important. Surrender. Complete surrender. With surrendering to a higher power, knowing that everything is going to happen takes patience. A lot of the times we get in our own way. We get in our own way because we don't surrender. We are so results oriented that we don't understand that if you just throw it out there, and you know that anything that you want, everything works out for you. Act as if everything works out for you. Then you visualize, you affirm, you all the things that I talked about in this video, and then you surrender. That's the hardest part. It's called delayed gratification for a reason. We know the principle of delayed gratification. The key word being delayed. You do consistent habits repeatedly over time, and success will be thrown upon you. You have to be patient, and in order to be patient, you must surrender. Guys, whatever is meant to be yours will be yours. Ladies, if it's destined to be, it will be. No man, woman, or child can take it away from you. If you desire it, it will become a reality. You throw it out there. Act as if it's already happened. And then you surrender to the universe, knowing that whatever you desire is yours, because you're a creator. You're creating your existence, just like how you can create a drawing, an art piece. You create content on your social media. You are creating your life. In order to have the best creation, you must be at peace. You must be work from a high vibration. You must believe that everything you desire will be yours. And then you surrender. That's why one of my principles is faith. You have to have big faith in order to surrender. Guys, we don't control everything. It's not in our control. It's been written. And I'm not talking fantasy stuff, bro. This is just reality. Do your part. That's all you can do. The next principle is really surrounding yourself with positive people, right? Because now when we build this, because sometimes, when people go out on these self-growth journeys, you'll see them having solo trips. Why do they take solo trips? Because that's the best way to become strong. You have to empty your cup. Get rid of all the negative people in your life. Because you have to build strength before you can go out there into the world and allow the universe to bring you positive people at that point. Because you can be really good in your energy, but other people's negative vibrations and energies brings you down. So in this principle, we have to talk about surrounding yourself with positive people. Surrounding yourself with positive people is so important. People with good influence. On top of that, act with kindness. Because if you want to live in abundance, you have to be generous. Live with generosity. Help people. Pay for the bill for that person that can't afford it. Give a donation when the time is right. Because by you living in generosity, you are telling the world, you're telling the universe, you're telling Source that you get it. That you have an abundance mindset. You don't mind spending because you know it's going to come back to you because it's an abundance. You've created it. So live a rich lifestyle if you want to be rich. You can't live a poor lifestyle. I'm not saying you go out and buy a Ferrari when you're not making the money to buy a Ferrari. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you create the Ferrari in your head if that's what you want. That's why people put them on their vision boards. My desires cannot be your desires. Our desires are desires. So you desire what you desire. You know what I'm saying? Did that make sense? Okay. So surround yourself with positive influence. Now, I want to spend a little bit more time on this one. Non-resistance. Non-resistance. Don't fight with what the universe wants to bring you. Okay? So you have to sit in solace. You have to live with flexibility and openness, meaning you thought that you did this and you were going to get a certain outcome, and all of a sudden you didn't get the outcome that you desired. Okay. Now you have two choices: to think that you failed or just understand that this wasn't it. You learn from it. You got to be flexible, knowing that, hey, you cannot create greater than the creator. You think you have a plan, but that's not God's plan. You know? So you have to be flexible and open and understand that that is just a dent in the journey. And it's probably not a dent. It's probably a blessing, which you will see years from now when you look in hindsight. Live in non-resistance. I suggest that you practice mindfulness. Being in the moment. I suggest you do breathing and meditation. I mean, you don't have to do this like for a living. You know, I don't want you to go solo on a mountain and just meditate for a year. That's not what I'm saying. But just spend some time with yourself. The answers are within. And when you shut your eyes and meditation doesn't even have to be actual meditation. Sitting with your eyes closed and affirming and visualizing is a great technique. So you can kill 3 birds with 1 stone, and you're in a meditative state, so it hits you harder. So you can sit down, you can do some breathing, come to a relaxed state. Now you're creating some inner peace. Spend some time with yourself through meditation, and then to end it off, you can do your affirmations and your visualization of what you want. You can crush it all in a few minutes, right? But that's going to set your state for the day. Or it's going to end your day if you like doing this at nighttime. You choose. I'm not going to say morning is better than night. The time where you feel most relaxed. Some people wake up in the morning like, yo, I got stuff to do. I don't have time to sit there with my eyes closed. I get it. I've been there. Do it at the end of the night to relax, to go to sleep. Okay? You want to remain in a high vibration is another principle, okay? High vibration. Having calm assurance. Whatever sets you in a high vibration, all the things that I listed here is going to make you vibrate high. So you want to practice all of that stuff. Here's another principle that I'm not good at. I'm still not good at till this day, but I know it's good to celebrate the small wins because that gets you in celebration mode. See, I was the kind of person, I'm like, yo, I'm not going to celebrate until I hit what I want to hit. But every time I hit what I want to hit, I up the bar because I'm a high achiever. So I find myself never celebrating and always chasing. But when you celebrate the small wins, you're getting in celebration mode. You're changing your frequency. That is going to attract other celebratory things in your life, other wins in your life that you can celebrate. So please celebrate the small wins. And the last principle is practice self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Have self-love. This one is so important, man. This one is so important because we are so hard on ourselves. I don't have a good enough body. I don't have enough money in my account. I don't have a good relationship. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. A good thing just to live in self-love and self-gratitude is just self-gratitude. Living in gratitude is going to do a lot of this automatically. It's going to help you live in compassion because you are living from a place of gratefulness rather than of want and need. Guys, whatever you desire will come true, but just be grateful for what you have, and then you're vibrating in a state to get what you want to get. And we must let go of the need of validation in order for us to practice self-compassion. We don't need others to tell us that we're good enough. You have to feel good enough inside. That was my first principle of certainty. You have to be certain that this is meant for you. A lot of us, we need validation. Hey, am I good looking enough? Is my body good enough? Can you tell me you like me? All this stuff. I have this stuff, man. That stuff is there from a lack of affection growing up. People that had a lot of good love and affection growing up, they don't need that validation, right? A lot of them don't need that validation. But for those of you guys that are suffering from it, you have to be your own. You have to give your self-love. You have to live in certainty and belief. Look, these are some of the principles that you need to adapt into your life so you can act as everything you desire is already happened. I am the best. You know who's awesome at this? Muhammad Ali. Watch his interviews. He was visualizing, affirming, I'm the best. I'm the most handsome. Let's go. I sting like a butterfly, float like a bee. You're going down on the third round. He's certain. In order to be the best, you have to believe you are the best before you become the best. Hopefully that makes sense. Follow these principles, and if you act as if everything that you want has already happened, you will get it. If you don't, you can have all the missions, visions, and business plans in the world, and what you desire is not going to fully come true. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one, y'all.